Hello. This is a Witch Doctor game I played on like May 6th, 2025. You can see here on the two of my teammates randomly have died. Not ideal. Viper and my DK, who I think are my mid and I'm going to say off laner, presumably here. So, judging by the lineup, you can see in the previous fight they did a couple of buybacks, but they did also kill our cores. So it's 47 minutes in, we are down quite a bit. We've been down 10k most of the game. You can see 36k at about 20 minutes, and then over here keeps going up. And here we're down about 9k, and then they died, and we're just kind of waiting high ground, waiting for our ultimate to be up. Our Phantom Assassin doesn't have Abyssal up. She does a BKB, Satanic, and Manta style to deal with the Silencer. So, Silencer doesn't have ulti, thankfully. The Spirit Breaker kind of does a million damage. He was mid. This guy, Wraith King, safe lane carry, S and Y. No BKB right now. The support Mag chilling over here, waiting to jump, and the off lane Axe waiting to jump over here. So they're all approaching our high ground right now. You can see they're all chilling. Both supports out of the base. Offlaner poised to counter initiate. And the three of us are just chilling right here. And we've only got 60 seconds to survive before our boys are up. There's no Aeon Disc to keep the Ogre alive if he almost dies. So he's hanging pretty far back. But you'll see here, we'll play it at normal speed and then maybe go back.
Tower is about to be a pile of smoking
Here
rock.
he goes in. Get a Maledict off on the Axe. Save my coconut. He doesn't have BKB. He's still man fighting. That's fine. I'm healing them. Staying invisible, waiting for my ultimate. See Spirit Breaker finally go in.
Killing spree. Killing spree.
He's waiting on the outskirts.
A dominating performance.
Quite a while.
A pile of smoking rock.
Your bones will make a fine powder.
But as you can see, the damage is pretty extreme. And then if we hit pause here, we can show fight recap. Yeah, we did 14,000 damage with the Witch Doctor facet there. You'll notice one spell each. We used Glimmer a couple times, but more or less the stuns from the Ogre just kept him in place. He shielded the PA and they tried to do 8,000, but we just stood there and did the rest. So that was quite nice. You just kind of position yourself just on the edge. You can see the whole time I was just hiding in the trees. But this is one of those classic games where you're down 10k, you've been hunted by a mid-Spirit Breaker who kills you all game long, and realistically it's just kind of down to one of your cores to go in and you to use your best spell in the world. So if you've got a good spell and a good amount of items like I did here, you just sort of stand as close to the safe areas as you know. I spent that whole fight basically just trying to get to the trees and stay out of position, because I already got caught by the RP, so most majority of their call, like Axe got killed immediately, and then Magnus got killed after, so that was essentially their initiation and their counter initiation dead, and then it was just down to killing Wraith King and Spirit Breaker. I assumed the Silencer just died immediately, but you can see the position over here in these trees is quite nice to hide in, especially if you're getting forced low ground. They don't often have sentries down on these hills unless they're very far ahead, and even when they do, we were down Arax, so we're just kind of finding the perfect position to go in and turn the fight. But you can see, if we go a little slower perhaps, go back about a second or two, hit play. So yeah, Wraith King jumps high ground, very wild stuff. And I've basically got 20 seconds until my ultimate is up. Now, do I use my switcheroo even? That's the question. I think realistically the point of this spell being pure damage is that if you can get it off a full duration, that is a ton of standing still and a lot of bouncing. And the secondary bounce from Cleft Death actually does trigger additional damage. So even though you're doing less damage, 65% of the damage, and then this supposedly it's a similar situation, but it's the same situation, it just targets twice, so that's the nice part. But we've got a good amount of damage on this spell. We've been in pretty good luck with it. You can see you don't need many last hits for this sort of situation, really. You just kind of become a threat. I've died 19 times, by the way. The majority of that was just being blown up instantly by these cores. So, just because you're dead 19 times, don't think you're out of the game. Don't think that the game's over with. You can see, go half speed here.
Radiant's middle tower is
Get
about
a
to be
little
a
weird
pile of
effect on
smoking
my
rocks.
healing thing. Yeah, he goes in, I glimmer immediately. Gonna get over without them seeing me, because I assume they have vision. Get a Maledic just on the axe, just on the edge. Switcheroo to start, just in case Magnus wants to go on me. He actually waits until after the fight breaks out to go and get both supports and bring us back. And you can see in this position, we're all grouped up 3 on 3. It's a pretty even fight. We've killed the other two immediately, so that makes the fight more bearable. We've got a quick power play basically to even it out, so instead of being down 2 heroes, we're up back to even 3v3. And Ogre does have 3,000 health. These guys don't have BKBs, so there's no way for them to be magic immune right now. They just kind of need to punch us, and Magnus is support, so he doesn't really punch. Which is why coconuts keep him in place. PA tries to focus him. Force stab himself out of there. Tries to keep us controlled. PA is still stunned, and I am waiting on my ult.
Radiant's middle tower is hanging on by a
No,
breath.
PA is getting lower, and they want to finish her off all at once. They use Abyssal, and I use ulti immediately. It bounces between these two, and then continues
Look,
threading back and forth as they
Thanks
get
for
next
playing
to each
Dota 2.
other.
Killing spree. Double kill. Dominating, I guess.
Radiant's middle tower.
I think this guy actually took the Bone Guard skeleton fight situation, but he never summoned any skeletons, which honestly probably would have just made him die even faster to my Witch Doctor ult, so it does bounce between those skeletons. The coconut's also pretty dangerous, that's probably why he didn't do it mainly, but you can see, you got Maledic back up again. If you get to level 25 and you get Maledic duration, that 8 seconds means this lasts 20 seconds. So it is impossible not to chase someone down in 20 seconds unless they're very, very fast. I think I get a blink after this, and for no surprise, it goes to a win soon thereafter. But for the next time you're down 10,000 gold and thinking to yourself, I'm just a support. GG, go next. I remind you that this DK and this PA, which, I mean, this is probably Neff Sensei, the commentator, and this PA was basically yelling the entire time. So I just kind of had them both ignored, more or less, and they just farmed as the 3 of us fought. So the idea that as a power play 46 minutes in and we're like the last 3 people alive, not a big deal when most of your team has been sort of AFK all game. Like this guy's got 600 last hits, like he's doing just fine. So if your team wants to keep farming, that's okay. You're support. You're there to use your ultimate and kill everyone if you can find a way. So don't give up. Give it a try. Let me know how you like the old Witch Doctor experience. You'll see here, I think we'll go back. Doot. You can see the win. A solid 37,900 damage. DK did a fuck ton of damage there. And 50k on the Viper. So even though PA did quite a bit there at the end, he still didn't do more damage than me the entire game. So even though my carry is quite important, you have to think about the times that you fight and the way that you fight. Because sometimes they just don't have an option. Yeah, you can see it's mostly a lot of axe catching me. These guys, Wraith King and Spirit Breaker over and over. But, you know, still bought 20 wards. Still get a lot of the activity that worked out for the best. And if you go over here, you can see the breakdown is almost entirely in the death ward damage. So although it may not be the best Maledic game or the best Coconut game, you can always find a way to augment your build. You can go like Holy Locket and go full heal. You can go Aether Lens and get additional distance on your ulti. That does count for the procs, for the attack procs. So when you get additional range at level 20, you can actually make the range quite large. Though I never personally do that. I'm just not a huge fan of Aether Lens. As if you know me, you know me. But yeah, we just do a lot of witch doctoring. We're up to 849 games total. A lot of those probably not all ranked, but you know. The important thing is we've basically been getting this win rate as high as possible, but over the course of a year, you know, 55, 56%. The Witch Doctor goes up and down quite a bit, but would recommend. You can get a lot of kills with the hero, and I think having pure damage on your team is underrated, this patch especially. So if you can get pure damage, maledict duration, find a way to get an ulti off, you won't be stopped. And if you get work at it every time, just build the Guardian Greaves first and try to purge it, so that way you can at least play the game. But yeah, that was my TED Talk. Currently Ancient 5 is 4400 MMR. Hopefully you too can have fun playing Witch Doctor.